Hey, good afternoon and welcome into Finis Horne Arena here on the campus of Lander University. Rickson Lane and head coach Chipper Bagwell with you. Check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2.
Now we're cooking.
Good afternoon, everybody. We welcome you into Finis Horne Arena here in Greenwood, South Carolina, and Lander University as we get set for Peach Belt Conference action this afternoon on a Saturday. It's Lander and Augusta, Bearcats and Jaguars doing battle here in Horne Arena. Rickson Lane alongside head coach Chipper Bagwell with you. And coach, the Bearcats, the women in somewhat unprecedented territory the last few years. They're trying to avoid a 3-game losing streak. They've dropped 3 of their last 4.
That's correct, and the good thing is that we're back at home and on some familiar turf and playing in front of our home fans, and hopefully we can get this thing turned around and get a streak going in the other direction.
Meanwhile, the Augusta Jaguars, they come in at this game, a 3-13 overall record. They've only won 1 conference game, but UC Aiken came in here a week ago, winless in the league. They upset the Bearcats. Augusta trying to repeat that here in Greenwood. Let's go ahead and give you the starters. First for Augusta at guard, number 0, Mallory Myers, a junior, 5'3", from Evans, Georgia. Number 2 is Ashley Outler, a senior forward from Augusta. She stands 5'10". Brianna Middleton in the middle, a junior forward, 5'11", from Ackworth, Georgia. Number 15 is Jamia Bradley, a senior forward. She stands 5'11", another Augusta girl. At number 25 is Monisha Goldsboro, a junior forward. She's 6 feet from Tipton, Georgia. So 5'11", 6 feet on the floor. At least to start for Augusta. Bearcats have to take care of that.
That's a good size for Augusta. So we're going to have to do a good job on the boards tonight.
For the Lander Bearcats, Crystal Williams in the starting 5 for Kevin Pedersen's squad. Williams is a junior guard, 5'5", from Riverdale, Georgia. Destiny Langford, sophomore, 5'8" guard from Lexington, South Carolina. And number 20, Jessica Harris, sophomore guard, standing 5'5", from Sumter, South Carolina. Round out the backcourt. Chelsea Mitchell is a junior guard, 5'9" from Laurel, Maryland. I imagine we'll see her kind of that role we saw her again against USC Aiken, playing in the key, more of a post presence for the Bearcats. She'll be teamed up with Tabitha Daly, the sophomore forward, 5'9" from Augusta, Georgia. Those are your starting five for Lander and Augusta. For the Jaguars, it's Myers, Outland, Middleton, Bradley, and Goldsboro. For Lander, Williams, Langford, Harris, Mitchell, and Daly.
Yeah, you're talking about Chelsea Mitchell. She's kind of a hybrid type player. She plays inside out. She's a playmaker, and she can knock down open shots, and she finds open teammates.
Ball in the hands of number 23 usually means good things for the Bearcats. We'll see how they try to get her involved. We'll see if Augusta comes out in that zone that we saw against USC Aiken, where the Pacers packed it in tight, dared the Bearcats to knock down some long-range shots, and Lander couldn't do so.
Yeah. If you can knock down a few shots, it'll get them out of that zone, but we weren't able to do that night.
Augusta, the road, dark blue uniforms, gray numbers and letters, gray trim, Jaguar head on the left of those shorts. Lander in the home golds, blue numbers and letters, blue trim. Daly will tip for the Bearcats, and it's controlled by the Jaguars as Middleton won the tip, and here we go. Augusta moving right to left as you're watching on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network, and right away we've got an illegal screen against Brianna Middleton, her first.
A moving screen that time off of a hard cut off top of the key there. We see that called quite a bit this year.
Well, that's a welcome sign for Kevin Pedersen, because him and the Bearcat faithful thought they saw a lot of those go uncalled last Saturday in that loss to USC Aiken. Bearcats weave it around the arc as Williams pumps the three, sends it down to Langford in the corner. 9:30 to go first quarter, no score. First possession for Lander as Harris whips a baseline pass to Langford. Langford's going to drive into the key. Floater right hand up and good.
Nice penetration that time by the Bearcats, and kick to the corner.
And a dangerous lob pass intercepted by Williams. Bounce it down low to Daly, and she's fouled. Good start for Lander. Nice ball movement on the offensive end. Get a tough shot to go and then force the turnover defensively.
That's kind of what we do. When we score, we get in our press and set that thing up and try to turn them over and score again.
So this is Tabitha Daly at the line for Lander. Daly, 5'9" forward. She's taking on the hometown team this afternoon, a native of Augusta, Georgia. She misses the first.
That may be why Coach Pedersen started her.
This is only her 5th start of the season.
Yeah.
She's averaging about 10 minutes a game and 1 point per game this year. She knocks down the free throw. Lander leads by 3. Jaguars working it over the timeline, and they get it across as it's brought over by Bradley. Then Bradley in danger, nearly threw it away. Langford chasing the ball out to half court as Myers drives in, kicks it back outside to Bradley. Check it, that was Goldsboro, had it stripped away. Langford comes away with it. And here come the Bearcats down the floor. Langford tossed back to Williams, working around Harris. Harris wants to drive. Floater won't go, and rebound collected by Bradley. Early couple possessions, Coach. Jaguars look out of sorts on offense.
They do. I'm not sure they're going to be able to handle this pressure tonight.
If the Bearcats continue to play at this sort of pace and intensity, there's a tough drive and spin, and a late whistle as Outler went to the floor.
Yeah, very late.
Shot was halfway home, and they're going to call it on Chelsea Mitchell. Check it, Tabitha Daly picks up the foul call.
If she did foul her, it was a terrible foul, because the shot she was taking had about a 1% chance of going in.
Yeah, wild, uncontrolled, just sort of flung the ball at the rim, did Outler. And the first free throw is up and good with 8:30 to go in the first quarter.
There goes the shutout.
Indeed. So Outler's second free throw on the way, and it tickles the twine. 3-2, Lander up 1 with 8:29 left in the first period of play. Glad to have you with us this afternoon on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Mitchell, tough jumper, off the mark, no good, and rebounded by Goldsboro. That's a tough shot from Mitchell in some traffic from deep in the 2 area.
And Augusta is starting out in a zone.
Myers misses badly, but the offensive putback won't go from Goldsboro. She grabbed the rebound. Now Mitchell comes down with it. Mitchell toss it back to Williams. Open for three. Off the mark, no good. Mitchell grabs the offensive board. Fresh 30 for Lander. Get it back in the hands of Williams, and the offense will reset. Langford into the key. Kicks it right side. Williams going to try again. Off the mark. Back rim, and rebound made by Bradley. Lander has struggled as of recently from beyond the arc, as there's a three converted by Outler.
Catch and shoot that time.
Jaguars looked in rhythm offensively there, and they take a 5-3 lead, their first lead of the day. Langford, tough inside pass to Daly, and she was fouled.
Good job of Daly attacking that zone. This zone, Rickson, is not as packed in as the zone we saw the last game here against Aiken. They're a little bit more sparse. They got some gaps where they can drive inside and get the ball inside pretty easily, I think.
You've seen the Bearcats able to drive into the paint. You've seen some nice passes around the basket. That was something that was sorely missed in that loss last Saturday, as Daly's first free throw off the mark. Sydney Graydon will check in for the Jaguars. She's a freshman post, 6'2" out of Evans, Georgia. She'll be the tallest player you'll see on the floor today.
Augusta's got good size. They're athletic looking.
There are 6 players on this Jaguars roster that stand 5'10" or taller, as Lander works it around the perimeter off the free throw miss. Offensive boards thus far in favor of Lander. They've grabbed a pair here on this offensive possession. Williams right side as the Jaguars close out on her. They had 2 on her, and now she skips it over to Harris. Harris jump stop in the lane. Floater no good, off the glass, and rebounded by the Jaguars as Bradley came down with it. 5-3 Augusta on top with 6:50 to go in quarter number 1 as Myers drives to the key, gets cut off, dishes it right side. Tough layup won't go, and Tabitha Daly snags the rebound. Williams, quick outlet ahead to Harris. Harris back to Langford. Langford wants to go baseline, tried to find Daly, and nearly threw it away. Harris on the left side. 10 to shoot, and they bounce it into Mitchell. Mitchell with Myers on her. Now she'll fire a long jumper. It won't go, and rebound collected by Graydon. Tough shooting here early for Lander. They're 1 of 6 from the floor. Augusta 1 of 4. Outler with the ball on the left wing. Gonna step inside the arc and launch. No good. Fight for the rebound, and Williams came down with it. Bearcats trying to get something going offensively. Langford hesitate and drive. Had the shot blocked away. Daly took it away from the Jaguars. Now ball's on the floor. Jump ball, Lander possession.
Good to see those gold jerseys on the floor diving after those loose balls. That's a good sign early on.
Daly will come out, and Brashay Johnson, the senior out of Hopkins, South Carolina, checks in. Johnson, Lander's leading scorer this year, and folks, she is closing in on the all-time record for points in a Bearcat career, and she's 2 closer after that layup. She needs 69 to pass Shannon McKeever as the school's all-time leading scorer. Now a 3 ball off the left wing, clangs off the front rim and rebounded by the Bearcats as Bradley couldn't hit. Langford gonna go coast to coast, and she's fouled.
Bearcats are really pushing the issue tonight. They're getting up and down the court in transition and making Augusta really get back and defend them on the move.
So Destiny Langford will go to the free throw line. She's netted 18 points against North Georgia on Wednesday night in the loss against the conference leading Nighthawks. I mentioned the Bearcats enter this game riding a 2-game skid as Langford makes her first. Lander has not dropped 3 consecutive games since 2014.
That's a credit to Kevin Pedersen and his coaching staff and the team.
Augusta trying to get out in front. Tough lay-in, no good. Johnson had the defense, and then the Jaguars knock it out of bounds. 6-5 lead for Lander. Langford left side, up top to Williams, wide open. She's going to fire and off the side iron. Rebound, grabbed by Graydon as Johnson and Mitchell were harassing her. 4:53 to go in the first quarter as Augusta throws it away. 6-5, Bearcats have the lead. That'll take us to immediate timeout. A 1-point advantage for Lander. 4:49 to go, first quarter. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Back inside Finis Horne Arena, Rickson Lane and Chipper Bagwell with you. 6-5 Lander lead, 4:49 to go in the first quarter of play. Bearcats a 13-5 overall record as Johnson wide open under the hoop and Harris threads the needle for the lay-in.
Great pass. Jaguars went to sleep that time and left O'Shea Johnson wide open under the basket.
Went out of a timeout too. Lander had to go the length of the floor. Johnson just got behind everybody. They try to work it in the post as Middleton takes it. Left-handed shot won't go. Harris got the rebound.
Yep, got up court.
Oh, and then Langford misses the lay-in and then a foul 90 feet away from the hoop.
Yeah. Augusta was really lazy about getting down court again that time in transition, so Bearcats didn't take advantage of it.
With Lander, you can see the aggressiveness that was missing in their last home outing. They have really tried to push pace, get tempo going offensively, and defensively causing some problems as High nearly stole the inbound as Mitchell was guarding. Force a trap, and then they're going to turn it over as Harris tracked it down. Good defense from the Bearcats, out ahead to Mitchell, and Mitchell lost the handle out of bounds.
Mitchell, she committed one error. She tried to make a move before she caught the ball. If she'd have caught it first, she had a layup.
You see Harris shadowing Jocelyn Belcher, knocks it away. Lander will stay on defense, but I tell you what, Kevin Pedersen got to love the defensive intensity his squad's come out with in this first quarter.
Chelsea Mitchell turned it over down there, and then she gets almost a turnover down here by hustling. So she didn't drop her head and pout about it. She makes up for it with her hustle.
That's something that Pedersen has said about Mitchell, the transfer out of D1 Morgan State all season, said nothing ever gets to her. As Johnson stole the pass away from Belcher, now here comes Mitchell down the floor, double team, split the double team and lay it in, my goodness. Wow, I tell you what, that's a next level drive there from Mitchell, and it's a 10-5 Bearcat lead. And the Jaguars have numbers. Scoop layup right hand, no good. Mitchell got the rebound and drew the foul.
Nice hustle by Mitchell that time. She ran 94 feet to come down here and get this rebound.
And she
sprinted down here.
And she's going to walk about 84 feet the other way to shoot free throws.
Augusta 15 foul on the Jaguars with 3:21 to go in the first quarter.
And that is not a recipe for success for Augusta. You're putting the top free throw shooting team in the league at the line with 3:21 left in the quarter. And Mitchell has been one of the best. Misses the first. I'll take the heat for that one.
Well, she's still one of the best in the league. I'd like her there at the line all night long.
She is a 71% shooter. And she missed both there. It's not something Lander has dealt with very often this season. The Bearcats on the year are shooting 75% from the line. And Mitchell and High nearly forced a turnover. And a foul on the Jaguars.
Yep. Moving screen again.
Their second such violation of the afternoon. Mallory Myers back in the ballgame for Augusta as Middleton will have a seat. And looking at the free throw numbers for Lander, they've got 5 different players this year, Coach, shooting 95% or better from the floor. Now, granted, Talikova, High, Webster, and Daly, they've only combined for 17 free throws this year, but coming into today, they've made all 17. As Johnson gets called for 3 in the key. And then Mylea McKenneth, you know how badly that loss has hurt the Bearcats this year. She was 24 of 25 from the stripe through 5 games.
5-second turnover.
And Mitchell causing problems on the inbound, and Lander's going to get it right back after the 3-second violation. They force a 5-second inbound as Harris triggers it into Johnson. Johnson wants to go in the paint and does. Now kicks it out to High, open for 3. Bounces around the rim, no good. And the rebound's taken by Bradley, and then we'll get a foul call against Destiny Langford. That's her second, 13th foul of the quarter. Crystal Williams back in the ball game as Langford goes to the bench. With 2:30 to go in the first quarter, it's a 10-5 lead for Lander. Harris nearly stole the inbound, tipped it out of bounds. Possession stays with Augusta.
Great hustle that time. She actually dove and tipped that ball out of bounds.
Cut off the pass and leapt in front and nearly stole it away. Jaguars having all sorts of problems just getting it in. Now Myers going to drive, and High is going to get called for a foul.
That looked like a pretty good block that time by High. You know, one of the things I'm impressed with tonight by our Lady Bearcats is the ball pressure. We're really putting extreme pressure on that basketball, whether it's a toss in or whether it's on the dribble or what. And you can really cause some damage if you put a lot of pressure on the basketball.
First free throw gets a friendly roll off the back iron. And those of you that joined us last Saturday, you'll be happy to know that no net issues on that left basket.
Yeah,
that was a bugaboo for Lander last week. Delayed our tip-off by about 5 minutes. And Harris, nice pass in transition. Johnson can't get the lay-in to go. 10-6 Bearcat lead, 2:13 to go in the first quarter as there's a drive all the way to the hoop. As Jamia Bradley gets the bucket. Harris on the right side, weaving into the key, back over to High. She's going to launch, no good. Mitchell went up, got the offensive rebound, kicks it back to High, who's going to fire again. Yes. No hesitation there from the sophomore out of Jonesboro. Fired it once more and drained it to make it 13-8.
She's got such a nice-looking shot. It just always looks like it's going in.
Now a drive and spin in the lane, no good. Harris got the rebound. Jaguars looking a little frustrated offensively as Williams pumps in the jumper off the baseline. It's a 15-8 lead for the Bearcats, and they force another turnover. Johnson got it, gave it off to Williams. Williams over to Harris. Oh, they had Mitchell in the corner, didn't see her. Instead, Harris will fire. That's no good. And rebound collected by Graydon. Augusta shooting 18% from the field in this quarter. That number's going to drop after a missed layup. Jaguars going to try to bring in reinforcements as this is Tanisha Campbell, the senior forward, standing 6'1", She and Outler also check in. Ariana Sanders into the ball game, replacing Chelsea Mitchell. Sanders, junior guard, 5'7" out of Pearland, Texas. Three ball no good. High got the rebound. 45 seconds to go in the quarter. Sanders, pull up, jumper, yes! Yep. Oh, that's a pretty shot from Ariana Sanders. And the Bearcat run continues here late in the quarter. And then an answer defensively, or offensively rather, for Augusta as Campbell beat everybody down the floor. Yep. Never want to see 6'1" beat your defense back, and that's what Lander saw there.
I'm not sure she ever crossed half court. She may have hung back here, I'm not sure.
There's been a little cherry picking going on. Landers got a chance to hold for the last shot. 8 seconds to play. Bearcats lead by 7. Got to put it in motion here with 5. They swing to Harris. Down to 3. Down to 2. Harris, floater. Offensive foul will be the call, so the basket would not have counted regardless. And we go to the second quarter. Lander leading the Augusta Jaguars 17-10. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Well, we're going to get an inbound play. That'll do it for the first quarter. You're still listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Back inside Finis Horne Arena, Rickson Lane, Chipper Bagwell with you as Lander forces another turnover to open up the second quarter. That is turnover number 8 for the Jaguars, and Williams makes it hurt at the other end.
Nice long-range three by that time by Williams.
A 19-10 lead for the Lander Bearcats. There's a fadeaway jumper, no good. Offensive rebound collected by Campbell. Gets it off to Myers. Rest of Jaguars really struggling offensively in this one. They managed just 10 points in the opening period as that jumper won't go, and a rebound from High. Jaguars were shooting at one point 13%. As Sanders launches from 3, can't get it to go.
It was 21% at the first quarter of 2 of 13, which is, you would think that we'd have a bigger lead than that, but they're hanging around.
And then High is going to be called for a foul. Thought she'd gotten a block there. Timeout on the floor, 8:50 left in the half. Lander up 19-10. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Kevin Pedersen taking that timeout is not happy with what he saw in the opening minute from his defense there, as the foul will result in free throws for the Jaguars. First shot, no good.
Alexis High committed her second foul, and it was, one that kind of upsets a coach sometimes.
Second free throw good from Bradley. 19-11, Landers lead is 8 as Sanders trapped right side, bounces it away to Williams. Williams skip it to Harris. Williams top of the arc, 17 to shoot. Harris wants to drive baseline, cut off, so she hands off to Sanders in the corner. Sanders, 10 on the shot clock, kick to Williams. Williams traveled, thought about a three-pointer, and then drug her foot as she tried to get it to Johnson down low.
She was starting to pass it or shoot it, and then she saw a teammate open, and she drug that foot while she was trying to pass it.
Harris checks out, High back in the ball game with 2 fouls. 19-11, Lander up 8 with 8:25 to go in the first half of play. Myers bounces it out as they work it down to the post. This is Campbell going up against Johnson. And an offensive foul as Johnson drew it on Campbell.
Boucher does that quite a bit. She draws those charges in there.
Neither team really lighting it up from the field. Landers improved vastly from the opening of this game as High can't get a 3 to fall. Myers got the rebound. Bearcats are 8 of 23 from the floor. Augusta is now 4 of 17 as there's a nice coast-to-coast drive from Mallory Myers.
Nice little move.
Yeah, Lander holding the Jaguars to under 20% shooting pretty much the entire half. They've only turned it over 3 times, forced 8 Jaguar turnovers. And you're right, Coach. You think with all those numbers, they'd be leading by more than 6.
That's right. And but they've turned it over 8 times, but we're only 2 of 8 from the free throw line tonight, which is unlike us.
It's absolutely hurt.
And we're 1 of 7 or 8 now from the 3. And they're 1 of 3 from 3.
Yeah, 1 of 9 after that miss from High, and then they throw the inbound pass away, and another lay-in for Outler. It's 19-15 with 7:30 to go in the first half. Sanders goes to Johnson, and she's fouled.
Johnson only knows one speed, and that is 150%. And she goes wide open all the time. Her motor runs really hard, which I like about that.
The reason why she was last year's Conference Player of the Year, the Southeast Region Player of the Year as well. She misses her first free throw. Boy, Lander is struggling from the charity stripe today. 2 of 9. They had a stretch there where they were shooting the ball about as well from the line as any team in America. Had 5 consecutive games where they shot 75% or better from the free throw line, but they have run into some issues here in the last week or so. It's a 20-15 Bearcat lead with 7:22 to go in the half. Myers has a lot of room as they're laying off of her from beyond the arc.
They daring her to shoot.
Augusta has only attempted 3 3-pointers today. A drive inside won't go, and the ball knocked out of bounds. Lander will have possession. I think the shot clock did something a little.
It did something funny. I looked up and there's 45 seconds on it.
Yeah, it went to 40. It went to 5 seconds and then it jumped up to 45, and it was going as if almost, Coach, it was counting the tenths of a second left.
I like that.
High can't get it to go.
I like it.
Johnson offensive board. It won't fall. Knocked out of bounds. Lander ball.
I like Alexa taking that shot. Shooters have got to shoot. Sometimes they got to shoot their way out of a slump. Not that she's in a slump.
She's not been shy about pulling the trigger today. She's 1 of 5 from deep. As a nice pass down low to Williams. Johnson couldn't handle it. Goes to the floor. Got it away to Mitchell. Mitchell going to fire from the elbow. That shot bounces off the mark. No good. Ball tapped away by Williams. Johnson came out with it. High going to fire from 3. That one's no good. Still free. Mitchell got it.
There's another offensive rebound.
Now Mitchell's going to fire. There it is. Kevin Pedersen throws his hands in the air. The team only took about 7 shots that possession.
Yeah.
And then Mitchell steals the pass away. 7-point lead for Landers. They work down low to Johnson. Turnaround layup. And timeout Augusta. 6 minutes to go in the half. Bearcats have seen their lead grow. It's 24-15 Lander. We'll step aside. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. A 24-15 lead for the Lander Bearcats over the Augusta Jaguars here in Horne Arena. Game 1 of a doubleheader this afternoon in Peach Belt Conference basketball. Rickson Lane, Chipper Bagwell with you. Good to have you join us. Jaguars struggling mightily from the floor. They're 5 of 19. Lander not setting the world on fire either. They're 10 of 29.
But we've taken 10 more shots, you said, from the field.
2 to shoot, lay in, no good. Offensive rebound for the Jaguars as Bradley came out with it. Lander out rebounding Augusta 19 to 18 thus far. Wow. That shot up and good from Myers.
That was an awkward looking shot, but it went in.
No style points, but they never count those anyway.
No.
Mitchell with the entry pass. Going to go down to Johnson on the right block. Johnson kicks it out to Williams. Williams straight away. 3,
nice.
Yes!
Nice inside out maneuver.
Williams knocks it down. She's got 7, and Lander's got its largest lead of the day at 10. And then Johnson going to be called for the foul in the end, 1 for Augusta. Augusta will go to the free throw line. Campbell will shoot.
Good thing that's Brachet's first foul, team foul.
And now I think the official is coming over to talk about the shot clock because we've not been seeing things, Coach. When it gets to 5 seconds, it's suddenly counting by tenths of a second, so the clock is showing 49.
Okay.
And then running down, it's still the same amount of time, and the buzzer's going to
4.9, 4.8, or whatever.
Well, but I don't think there's a point up there. It's just going from 49 down to 0-0. It's going at the same rate of speed as it normally would.
Yeah.
For 5 seconds, but you might have a player look up all of a sudden and see 40 seconds to shoot. Both teams are going to go to the bench, and tell you what, we're going to take a break here as the Bearcats and Jaguars await the fixing of this issue. And while I've got a moment, we'd like to recognize our game sponsor and proud supporter of Bearcat Athletics, Emerald Ink and Stitches. Emerald Ink and Stitches can design and print your logo or message on just about anything. And they offer custom embroidery for shirts, jackets, caps, and bags, locally owned and operated in Greenwood, South Carolina since 2003. Our thanks to Emerald Ink and Stitches, proud supporter of Bearcat Athletics. We'll step aside while everyone talks things over. 27-19, Lander up 8, 4:42 to go in the first half. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Well, we'll continue with basketball here as the free throw is up and good. Campbell knocks it down to make it a 7-point ball game. 27-20, 4:42 to go here in Horne Arena. Williams.
Oh.
They get called for a carry as the Jaguars brought some full court pressure. First time we've seen that today from Augusta. The Jaguars trying to get back, as they back into this one, but they're only down by 7. This game's never been a blowout.
No.
And Myers got all sorts of space, and her jumper gets a good roll.
She's had 2 friendly rolls tonight.
Bearcats have given her all sorts of room to operate. And Sanders works it over right side. Back to Sanders. They go inside to Mitchell. Ball nearly taken away. Mitchell gonna fire a baseline jumper, no good. And the rebound taken by Augusta. (27-22) our score. 3:45 left in the half, and a travel violation against Augusta. Shea Johnson into the ball game. Chelsea Mitchell will check out. So the Bearcats don't see this very often. We're going to have 2 forwards on the floor, and Daly and Johnson. You typically see Coach Pedersen go with a lanky guard as the 4 in the lineup. Not here. Williams bounce it down low to Johnson. Johnson back out Alexis high. Going to fire from 3, rimmed out, no good. .320 to go in the half. Lander up 5. Jumper high off the mark, no good. High goes up to get the rebound. Sanders left wing, going to pull up. Jumper, no good, but she was fouled, and so Ariana Sanders go to the free throw line where Landers had a lot of problems today. Bearcats are just 3 of 10 from the stripe.
I'm glad to see Coach Patterson leaving Alexa High in there and letting her try to just get through this thing on her own, because she's taking some quality shots, and she's got good size when she's guarding people. She's got good size, and she causes problems on the defensive end.
She's 1 of 7 from 3, but it's not like she's done nothing for them. Grabbed 3 rebounds. Right. She's played good defense.
Right.
And that's something that Coach Pedersen has always talked about with his players, that if the points aren't there, but you're given value in other places, we'll find a way to get you on the floor.
Right.
They would prefer the points as well, but
you can't have all shooters out there. That's
true.
For sure.
It's a 6-point Lander lead with 2:50 to go in the half. Jaguars set up for the 3 ball. That one's no good. Another rebound for the aforementioned Alexis High. Williams lost the handle momentarily. Get back out to Ariana Sanders. Trying to find it to Brashay Johnson. Skip it over to High. 13 to shoot. Daly will pull a jumper and knock it down. Tabitha Daly makes it a 30-22 lead, and then Lander nearly forcing a turnover. .15 to shoot. Drive inside, no good. Sanders, pull up, jumper, won't fall. Fight for the rebound, Augusta basketball.
Might have been a little quick that time, that shot.
It might have been, as the Bearcats came down and shot one early in the shot clock, and it was a contested shot as well.
Yeah.
Jaguars driving inside, counted in the foul. That was Ashley Outler, who's pulled Augusta back within 6.
and possibly 5 if she makes this free throw.
Absolutely. So the free throw coming up from Outler. Zuzana Talikova is going to check in first for the Bearcats.
Another shooter coming in, trying to solve that zone.
A 5-point lead for Lander. 1:40 left in the half. Williams, baseline jumper, no good. .120 to play in the half. Ball out to Outler. She's going to launch a 3 and hit it.
And makes it.
30-28 our score. Augusta Jaguars trying to finish the half with a flurry. This is Williams. They'll go down low. Johnson backing her way in. Reverse layup, no good. Daly grabbed the rebound. Ball to the floor. Jump ball. Lander will have it.
Crochet Johnson, I think when she first caught that basketball, she could have cone up on the right side. She was wide open, didn't realize it, and tried to go to the other side and reverse layup and made it a really difficult shot.
Daly and Johnson out. Leah Pettit in for the first time this afternoon. Junior center out of Duluth, Georgia, 5'11".
And she normally gives us some really good minutes in there at the post.
And she typically does. Chelsea Mitchell also back in the ball game. Inbound to Talikova. Fresh shot clock for Lander. They can run this thing down to about 18 seconds. Instead, Williams tried to force it into Mitchell, and it's a turnover. Augusta can take the lead here. And they do on a 3 from Outler. 31-30. Now Lander will try to take the lead here on what could be and might be the final shot of the half.
And should be the last shot.
Absolutely. Williams put the offense in motion. Sanders swings it to Talikova. Threw it away. Turnover. Now Augusta can hold for the final shot. Got 3 seconds. Tough 3 was blocked by Williams, and that'll do it for the first half. Lander down at halftime, 31-30. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Back inside Finis Horne Arena, Rickson Lane and Tipper Bagwell with you. Your score at halftime, the Augusta Jaguars 31-30 lead over the Lander Bearcats. And Coach, after a first quarter where Lander holds Augusta to just 10 points, the Jaguars come out. They outscored the Bearcats 21-13 in the second period. And a team with one conference win this year has got an advantage as we go to the third quarter.
That sounds kind of familiar, like USC Aiken, I suppose. Augusta shot 50% that second quarter to our 31% from the field, and that's a big difference. They're 3 of 4 from 3.
We'll see if the Bearcats can get something going here. As an early three from Outler, well, that one was halfway down, no good. Mitchell came out with a rebound, and she'll bring it down the floor for Lander. Mitchell wanted to go to the rim, cut off, so she sends it back up top to Williams. Williams over to Harris. Harris right side. Jumper on the way from Mitchell, good.
That's always a good option. Get it in Mitchell's hands and let her just make a decision.
She's got 6 points and 5 rebounds so far in this one. Also 1 assist. Now all the way to the hole, Myers goes coast to coast.
And she went all the way and nobody ever got in her way.
33-32, Augusta up 1. Mitchell gonna launch a 3, got it.
I think it's gonna be a 2.
They're going to call a long 2, you're right. And then Langford steals the ball, saves it into Daly. Daly goes and she lays it up. Quick 5-0 run, and Rashae Johnson was about to check in for Tabitha Daly, and Pedersen called her back from the scorer's table. 36-33, Bearcats up 3. Then another pass nearly stolen. Harris got a piece of it, Augusta turns it over.
Well, I like what we're doing here. We're speeding Augusta up really quite a bit, and they haven't made really good decisions yet.
This is the Lander defense we saw in the first quarter, as they've clawed their way back out front, 36-33. Williams over to Langford. Into Mitchell, she's feeling it. And that one goes down as well.
It's pretty simple right now. Get it in Mitchell's hands and let her go to work.
Oh, and then Augusta throws it away again. Back-to-back turnovers by the Jaguars, and Lander with the ball and a 5-point lead. Mitchell's got all 6 in this half for the Bearcats. Check it, 6 of 8.
Yeah, and that was because we sped them up a little bit and they panicked a little bit.
They had a girl wide open here in front of us.
Just threw it over her head.
38-33, Lander up 5. The Bearcats keep the intensity up here. Harris. Skip it over to Williams right side. Williams thought about a 3. Now she'll drive in. Jumper on the way. It's no good. Who's there for the rebound and put back? You guessed it. Chelsea Mitchell.
Even if you don't pass it to her, she's apt to get the ball.
She'll find a way to get it in her paws. 40-33 Lander. As there's a drive and a miss on the layup attempt. No good from Bradley. Lander with the rebound. Langford out in front of everybody for the lay-in. Hello, Bearcats. Nice to have you. 42-33, Lander storming out of the gate in the third quarter. Timeout, Augusta. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. A 42-33 lead for the Lander Bearcats over the Augusta Jaguars. They have stormed out of the gate here in the third quarter. Chelsea Mitchell's got 8 of Lander's 12 points here in the opening 2+ minutes of the half. The Jaguars trying to get some momentum back on their side after they led 31-30 at the break. Offensive foul there. That's an easy one on Tanisha Campbell. She plows over Mitchell.
And Mitchell, guess who? Mitchell took that one.
12.7 rebounds for Mitchell. Williams and Johnson both have 7 points on the afternoon. Ashley Outler leading Augusta, leading all scorers. She's got 16 on the day. She's made 3 3-pointers, Coach. Every other person in the arena combined today has made 2.
That's right.
Jessica Harris can't knock it down. Daly got the rebound. She'll go up with the left hand. Couldn't get it to fall, but Tabitha Daly will go to the free throw line.
Yep, good offensive board and good, nice maneuver that time in there to get it up to the rim.
She has given the Bearcats good minutes today. 5 points, 4 rebounds.
Yeah.
She's about to take her 3rd trip to the free throw line.
She's a little bit bigger than what I thought she was, or she plays bigger. 5'9", but she plays like a 6-footer.
Can't get that one to go. She's 1 of 5 from the free throw line today. That's been a problem for.
That's been a problem for the Bearcats in general today.
4 of 13 on free throw attempts today. And she makes the second, and Lander's got a 10-point lead. Second time today they've led by double digits. Jaguars get it over the timeline. The dangerous cross pass to Myers. Myers wanted to go in the lane. And now looking for a friendly jersey. Mitchell nearly took it away. And an over-back call against Augusta. Mitchell forced that one as Bradley lost the handle.
But she won't get credit for that, but that was a turnover. She calls that turnover, and it was almost a steal for her.
Lander outscoring Augusta 13-2 in this quarter. Williams kicks it left side. Langford gonna fire a 3. Can't get it to go. Mitchell tapped it up. Myers came down with the rebound. Myers will send it right side. Outler gonna drive, and I think they're gonna call Langford for a hand check.
Outler had a good first half. As you said, she's a leading scorer. She was 3 of 4 from 3, 3 of 3 from the line, and ended up with 16 points.
A 43-33 Bearcat lead. They're going to call a block there on Daly. Manisha Goldsboro went around her. Daly hit the deck, and then Goldsboro lost her footing. Kevin Pedersen trying to plead his case on behalf of the junior out of Augusta. And a block at the rim there from Williams. Wow. Up ahead to Harris, and Harris is fouled. Boy, Brianna Middleton, all 5'11" of her went up, and Destiny Langford, who gives up, Crystal Williams gives up 6 inches to her, just rejected that layup opportunity.
She sure did.
So Harris at the stripe, and she will not get the roll on the first attempt. Well, I tell you, Coach.
We brag too much about him being one of the leaders in free throw shooting, I guess.
Yeah, we're going to have to cut back on that. That's the difference right now between an 11-point lead and a 21-point lead. Exactly. 10 missed free throws as Daly stole the inbound. Harris gives it to Mitchell in the key. Mitchell in trouble, kicks it to Williams. 3-ball, no good. And rebound collected by Goldsboro. And then a foul on Jessica Harris. That's the 3rd of the quarter against Lander. Both teams have been called for 3 fouls here in the 3rd period. Skip it right side. This is Outler for 3, and she got it.
She's red hot.
That's the biggest offensive weapon for Augusta. She tries to keep the Jaguars in it. 44-36 now. Langford gets it to Mitchell in the key. Mitchell looking for space. Kicks it to Harris in the corner. Out to Williams. Williams, 3-ball. No good. Fight for the rebound, and Goldsboro comes down with it. And Mitchell nearly went after that one. Outler, another long three, no good. Daly tracks down the rebound. Harris hesitating, now bounces it back to Langford. Langford in the lane, teardrop right hand, got the roll.
Got a great roll.
46-36, and Williams playing free safety, picks the pass away. Williams looking to drive, and a jump ball. Lander will keep the basketball. Williams got tied up. Ariana Sanders in the ball game. Crystal Williams goes to the bench. 46-36 our score. Bearcats up 10, 5:02 to go. And Harris's inbound pass stolen away by Brianna Middleton. Shot no good, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Augusta. And that'll take us to immediate timeout. 10-point lead for Lander, 46-36, 4:52 to go in the third. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Back in Greenwood, South Carolina, Rickson Lane, Chipper Bagwell with you. Lander leading the Augusta Jaguars 46-36, 4:52 remaining here in the third quarter. As Sanders gives it off to Mitchell, top of the arc, gets it right back, gonna see a seam and drive, and she was fouled on the jumper, and Ariana Sanders will go to the line.
Mariana's not shy about trying to get to the rim, and she did a good job that time of throwing that foul, and hopefully she can make 2 free throws here.
Sanders coming off the bench for the Bearcats the majority of the season. So her first free throw is no good.
Continue to slump there from the free throw line.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what the problem is today for Lander. And this is not just all of a sudden, because they've been trending downward in free throws over the past week and a half. Made the second. It's an 11-point lead for the Bearcats. Sanders, one of only 5 Lander players who has played in every game this season. They've got Outler trapped, and she threw it away. Harris stole it. Bearcats got a 3-on-1. Harris tried to bounce it inside. It went off a Jaguar foot, but they play on, and then Myers is fouled, and her layup attempt won't go. And Kevin Pedersen was trying to get the officials' attention, and he's right. That ball bounced off of a Jaguar foot in the key, and they never stopped play.
It certainly did. That's a kick ball all day long.
So at the stripe for Augusta will be Mallory Myers, the junior out of Evans, Georgia. She misses the first free throw attempt. Only 2 players on this roster not from the Peach State for Augusta. Lauren Smith out of St. Paul, Minnesota, and Tanisha Campbell hails from Jacksonville, Florida. She's a JUCO transfer, as is Smith. And the Jaguars actually have gone into the Palmetto State to pick up a couple of transfers Their two seniors, or two of their seniors, Outler and Bradley, both from South Carolina State, spent some time down in Orangeburg. Free throws attempts no good, and Landers got the 11-point lead. Backdoor to Crystal Williams for the layup. Oh, great vision there from Harris.
Yeah. Nice little skip pass, so cutting Harris for a layup.
49-36, Lander up 13. Daly contesting the jumper, no good. Myers couldn't get it to fall, and then Daly was fouled, and that's going to send Tabitha Daly to the free throw line. I believe that's the 5th on the Jaguars. So Lander, they're in the bonus with 3:50 to go, but if you're Augusta today, that's not really a problem, as Lander has been very poor from the line.
That might be their best defense, free throw defense.
It might be. The Bearcats.
Well, we shot 33% the first half on 4 of 12.
Coach, their 37, Lander, pardon me, is 40% from the field and 35% from the free throw line.
Wow.
They're 12% from beyond the arc, 2 of 17.
Wow.
But they hold a 13-point lead thanks to 16 Augusta turnovers that have turned into 15 points. They've also won the rebound battle to this point, 31-26, including 11 offensive boards. Another turnover. Williams goes to Mitchell. Tough right-handed shot won't go. Rebound brought in by Jocelyn Belcher. Outler looking for help, and then Mitchell stole it away. Here she comes. Chelsea Mitchell, lay it, they missed it.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. Been that kind of shooting day at times for Lander. And then Ariana Sanders is going to get called for a foul, and it's going to be, an offensive foul, pardon me.
Yep.
My mistake, I thought that was about to be a disastrous turn of events for Lander. Instead, the Bearcats are going to get free throws. Coach, you're going to get free throws off an offensive foul?
Well, I think it was after the play. I think the foul occurred afterwards.
Yeah, you must be
on
right.
the way to the for a rebound.
I think you're correct. They called it it was announced as an offensive foul, but I think you're right.
I don't think it was an offensive foul.
So Sanders at the line, and she makes the first. A 51-36 lead for the Bearcats with 3:12 to go in the quarter. Second free throw up and good. Sanders knocks down both, and the Lander lead is 16, the largest of the day. Jaguars trying to get it in. They can't do it. As Lander really intercepted the pass.
Yeah, Daly almost come up with that one. Chelsea Mitchell's doing a really good job on the ball.
That's been her spot all year. They want to throw it deep now. Instead, send it into the corner. Well, that's not what Augusta wanted, but they get out of it. Belcher with the ball on the right wing. She fires and hits from three.
Wow. That's a long three.
Makes it 52-39, a 13-point lead. Lander, 2:52 left in the third. Harris gonna drive baseline. Floater, no good, got her own rebound. She went right around the 5'11 Middleton. Now Williams gives it to Sanders. Sanders bounces it back to Williams as they work it down low, and then Daly was tripped on the baseline.
Daly's not shy about it. When she catches that ball on the block, she's trying to score and trying to make an offensive maneuver in there, and I've been really impressed with her.
Well, and she's been rewarded for her efforts in that department because she's about to shoot her 9th and 10th free throws of the day.
Yeah.
She's done a great job of, you're right, being aggressive and getting to the rim. And when she has gotten a shot off from the field, she's 2 of 2.
Yeah.
Knocks down that free throw. She's got 8 points on the day. Mitchell, who scored 8 early points in this half, has not scored since. She's got 12, though. That still leads all Bearcats. That one's no good. Mitchell nearly took the rebound away. Jaguars come out with it. Lander has had the more spread out scoring attack today, which is not something the Bearcats have had typically this season. Augusta's only gotten their 39 points from 5 different players. There's a nice drive from Harris who fakes it in.
Yeah.
Oh, that was beautifully done.
Yes,
and then Williams stole the inbound to Mitchell. Mitchell, the layup is good. Oh, Lander's starting to run away with this one. There's another inbound. Mitchell again. Oh, the wheels are coming off for the Jaguars.
There's those flurries we're accustomed to.
That's what Lander's been looking for all day long. Timeout, Augusta. 59-39, Bearcats lead by 20, a minute 51 to go in the quarter. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. A 20-point Lander lead, the largest of the day, as Mitchell stole another inbound pass. Harris layup won't go. Well, Augusta has failed to inbound their last 3 opportunities, and Williams nearly stole it again. Harris goes to the floor, jump ball, Jaguars will have it. Boy, this Lander defense has turned it up. They have been absolutely suffocating over the last minute and a half. That's the first time, Coach, in their last 4 possessions, Augusta's gotten it over half court.
A 28-9 run this quarter for the Bearcats.
Boy, that is just what the doctor ordered.
Chelsea Mitchell has had her hands on a lot of those.
As has the young lady who just went to the bench, Tabitha Daly. But she has been so good today. It won't show up necessarily in the stat sheet, but she has been huge as there's a nice 3-ball. That was Autumn Woodard, the freshman from Madison, Georgia, who drained that one. Lander up 17, a minute 23 to go. Here in the 3rd quarter of play.
Look.
And Mitchell trying to get a down low to Pettit. Pass stolen away.
She put a little bit more air under it. She had her.
Belcher brings it ahead. 21 on 21 here as she's being hounded by Sanders. Wants to go left side. Now comes back around the screen, right into Mitchell. Gonna fire a long 2, no good. And Pettit went up to get the rebound and got it away to Williams. Williams down the right side. Gonna go into the key.
Get in there.
Can't get it to go, but she was fouled. Well, Crystal Williams appears to be fully back after that scary knee injury she suffered against Flagler. And just in the nick of time for Lander, they need her healthy. Free throw, no good. Coach, the Bearcats with some breathing room here in this one. They're up 17, under a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Obviously, we got a lot more basketball left in this one, as the lead grows to 18 on the free throw make from Williams. But, you know, looking ahead, as Lander commits, or the Jaguars commit another turnover, and the Bearcats give it back.
And then they give it right back.
You and I were talking before we went on air this afternoon. You look at this schedule for the Bearcats in the month of February. You've got some huge games: Flagler, Francis Marion, Columbus State, North Georgia. But everyone except Flagler at the top of the league has to come to Greenwood.
Right. Yeah, we got a favorable schedule at home in the month of February.
Including a 4-game home stretch from the 7th to the 15th. 3 seconds to shoot. They go down low to Pettit, and she's fouled with 2.5 seconds left in the period.
Nice job of finding her, and Pettit made a nice catch and just drew the foul with 2.5 seconds to go in the quarter.
So Pettit will shoot a pair. As the Bearcats, they've got some work to do thanks to this recent skid. Free throw attempt no good. They enter today 4th in the Peach Belt.
You know, sometimes a loss is good for a team if you learn from it, but, you know, we don't want to go 3 or 4 losses in a row. I don't know how much you learn from that, but a loss sometimes you can really turn it around, gain some momentum going the other way.
I'm sure Kevin Pedersen would have liked to them have learned from one loss and not had to drop 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But they've got a 16-point lead here at home, and the 4th quarter is coming up from Greenwood. 60-44, Lander on top of Augusta. Final 10 minutes when we return. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. (60-44), Lander on top of the Augusta Jaguars as we enter the 4th quarter here in Horne Arena. Glad to have you join us this afternoon. Rickson Lane and Chipper Bagwell with you. Bearcats outscored the Jaguars 30-13 in the 3rd quarter as they've gotten a sizable advantage here as we enter the final quarter. Boy, Daly, a great move down low and lays it in.
Good job by Daly.
She has been very impressive today, and she's been, Coach, the post player that's been on the floor the most today for Lander, and she helped turn that one over as Harris comes out with a steal.
She got her hand on it and deflected it.
Harris driving inside, couldn't get the handle, instead kicks to Langford. Langford wants to send it out to Sanders. Sanders open for 3, off the mark. Mitchell got the rebound. Mitchell gonna drive in and lay it up.
Oh, Mitchell.
Oh, my goodness, she's special.
Mitchell's got, now she's got 18 points. She's got 8 rebounds and 5 or 6 steals. She had 5 at the end of the quarter. She's doing a heck of a job. 4 offensive rebounds.
Oh, it seems like every time we play at home, she's on a triple-double watch.
It seems like she gets her hands on more balls than that, but there's another one that
well,
gets deflected.
Yeah, those balls that get tipped and go into the arms of a teammate, they get the steal credit.
Right, and that doesn't count on the stats. I'd like to see a stat called deflections. See how many times you get your hand on the ball.
Yeah, some sort of defensive efficiency rating. As the 3 ball's no good. Now Harris, she can outrun everybody down the floor. Does. Lay it'll go! And 1 for Jessica Harris.
You know, they say speed kills, and that's a perfect example. She just outran everybody.
If Harris is stride for stride with a defender at half court, they won't be stride for stride when they get to the rim.
No. She puts it in another gear and takes off and takes it to the rim, and could have had a 3-point play, but there's another offensive rebound by Chelsea Mitchell.
Mitchell says, I'll take that. Now going to fire a long 2. Yes. 68-44. It's a 24-point Lander lead.
That's our 20th point, I believe.
Harris wanted to go after that cross-court pass. And the Jaguars get it over the timeline just in time. Harris took it away. Lander down the floor. Harris hesitate. Bank shot. Oh, put too much mustard on that one. And Sanders going to get called for the foul.
Nice little kind of a stop and go that time by, who was that? Jessica Harris, yeah.
Just a little too much mustard on that shot.
Yeah. She changed speed. She kind of went in with a fastball and turned it into a changeup. There's
another
steal.
Turnover. Daly got that one. And the ball's on the floor. Daly comes out with it. Now Lander's got a 3-on-1. Sanders hesitates, drives, and finishes. There were 4 Jaguars going after the ball, which is good. The bad news is Lander came out with it, and nobody back to defend.
Augusta just really hadn't helped. They hadn't done really well with this press this whole game.
They've scored 13 points in the last 12 and a half minutes of gameplay. Lander has dominated the second half here in Greenwood.
They had 10 turnovers at half, and they had 23 at the end of the third quarter, and they've had several already in this quarter.
Outler trying to get her team back going. She misses that 3. Long offensive rebound for the Jaguars, and then they commit it over and back.
She'd have let that go another step. I think that would have been a deflection.
A 70-44 lead for Lander with 7:28 remaining in this one. Announced attendance of 522. Second largest home crowd of the year as Daly couldn't get it to go. Oh, Mitchell put back.
Mitchell with an offensive board and a stick back. I got a feeling I know who the MVP of the game is going to be, or player of the game.
I think we may be thinking of the same person. 72-44 our score. Jaguars trying to work down low. Tough left-handed shot, no good. Offensive rebound, and the putback up and in from Tanisha Campbell.
And think we were down 1 at halftime.
It's a 26-point lead now. Daly up and under, it won't go. Campbell got the rebound, and we're gonna have to find out what Coach Pedersen said or did at halftime. Something happened because the Bearcats flipped a switch. Harris inside to Langford, no look pass. Now Sanders left side for 3, yes! Ariana Sanders, tray ball, and Lander pushes the lead out to 29. And then that pass lobbed in. Lander nearly got a piece of it. Myers comes out, and Sanders took it away. Langford and Mitchell 2-on-1. Langford all the way to the rim, and one, Destiny Langford.
Hey.
Bearcats putting an exclamation mark on this one with 5:59 to play.
That looked like an NBA play. She took a lick and just kind of held herself in the air and finished the play, and she's going to get to the free throw line.
And it all started with Sanders, who ran down a Jaguar from behind, tapped that ball free, which led to a 2-on-1. Jaguars get it over. Drive inside, shot no good. Langford's out and head everybody as Mitchell found her for the lay-in. A 33-point lead after Lander trailed at halftime by 1.
Looks like 2 different games here now.
I tell you what, I'm not sure I've ever seen a team turn a game around in a half the way Lander has flipped this one. This team looked dead in the water in the first, especially in that second quarter.
Well, the intensity and effort really picked up here in the second half and caused lots of turnovers.
Shot attempt no good. We're gonna get a foul on the floor. They'll call that one on Daly, I believe. A 79-46 lead for the Bearcats with 5:08 to play.
At the end of the third quarter, we had 12 offensive rebounds, and we've gotten several already this quarter, so that's pretty good.
Leah Pettit out of the game and Tabitha Daly back in. And that one's thrown away. Mitchell steal it. Now another breakaway layup. There it is.
I keep looking for her to go down and slam dunk it one of these days.
That's about the only thing she hasn't done today.
Yeah.
There's another turnover.
I like the way they're using her. They just kind of let her play, and she roams around from elbow to elbow, and catches it, and makes great decisions.
Lander with a 36-point outburst here in the second half. They lead 81-46. 5 minutes to go in this one. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. It has turned into a Bearcat house party here in Greenwood with 5 minutes to play. Lander, who trailed this game 31-30 at halftime, they now lead 83-46 as Mitchell blows to the hole. She's got 26 points on the day. She had 4 at halftime.
At halftime, yeah.
She needs 4 steals for a triple-double, Coach.
Wow.
There's a layup from Manisha Goldberg.
I'd like to go back and look at that tape. I believe I could get her 2 or 3 more steals. She's had her hands on a lot of balls.
She absolutely has. Yeah, she's been involved in at least 10 steals today. I don't know if she got credit for all 10 of them. Lander up 83-48. Bearcats have scored 53 points here in the second half. I tell you what, I don't know what has been said in the locker rooms of these recent Lander basketball games as Harris misses the 3. The men scored 65 in the second half on Wednesday at North Georgia, and now the women have put 53 on the board, and Destiny Langford came up limping after that rebound, and she's going to have to give it off to Harris. Williams is going to come in for her as Langford is favoring that left ankle, and they'll blow it dead.
Yeah, just to get her out of there.
Yeah, she was visibly limping after that. I think someone
she twisted her ankle, or
hopefully that's just maybe stepped on an ankle or got stepped on. She came down the floor and walked off on her own power, so that's a good sign. She's being looked at by Sophia Adams. The Bearcat trainer as Mitchell's fouled on her way to the rim. 3:33 to play. Lander up 35. First free throw is up and good. $54 points, now 55 in the second half for Lander.
With 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
That is unbelievable. We've seen this program play some impressive games I'm not sure I've seen a more impressive half.
No, I don't think so either.
And now, granted, keeping in mind, you are playing right now the last place team in the league. But these two teams looked even through the first half of this ball game.
Yeah, we even trailed at halftime by 1 point.
As Harris knocks down the baseline jumper. And Lander.
We hadn't done it with three-point shooting. It's been mostly with turnovers and getting to the rim and getting to the free throw line. Slashing to the basket.
(87-48). And there's a steal for Mitchell.
There's another one.
There's 7. Bounce it down low to Daly. There's her 3rd assist.
She might get to a 10 assist.
She's got some work to do there. I think she's got 3 right now.
Okay.
She's got a little bit of work to do on that end.
She might be coming out of the game.
She tapped that one free. Daly's going to get credit for it. As Harris, oh my goodness, to Sanders. Hello there. Oh, Bearcats are styling here in the 4th quarter. 91-48. Two minutes to go in this one. The Bearcats are within striking distance of triple digits now. Boy, if I had told you that at halftime, what do you think people would have said?
That's a rebound for her.
Mitchell gets another, up ahead, and the assist is Crystal Williams drops it in, 93-48. 31-4, Lander outscoring the Jaguars in this 4th quarter. That is unbelievable. Minute 25 left in this one as that 3 ball's way off the mark. Daly got the rebound, and Kevin Pedersen.
He's going to get some subs in there, which is a good thing.
Yeah, Kevin Pedersen's going to call a timeout, and we're going to get some new faces in for Lander.
We certainly don't want to get Chelsea Mitchell or somebody like that hurt in a game like this.
And a well-deserved ovation for the group that just came out. Mitchell, Langford, and Williams. Destiny Webster in the ball game, Zuzana Talikova as well, Sanders, Harris, and Daly also on the floor. And with 1:10 to go, Lander, hopefully, Coach, this is the game that you look back on in a couple of months, maybe and say that was the one that sparked it. That was the half that got this team back on track.
Yeah, the second half, they've looked like they're on top of the world right now.
I mean, Coach, they've outscored Augusta 66-17.
Wow.
In this half. Pardon me, 63-17 in the second half. Sanders kick it out to Webster. Webster looking for help. Gives it to Harris. Harris and a drive. Bounce it down low, Daly. Daly spinning, lay-in, good.
I'm so pleased with Daly.
And Tabitha,
I think she's had a great game.
Well, Tabitha Daly's got 14 and 9 today. That rebound goes to Sanders. She'll bring it ahead, and Lander can run the clock down to 8 seconds here. 95-48. Mitchell's going to finish with 28 points. Daly's got 14. Sanders has 13. Williams had 12. Langford had 11. Mitchell's going to lead the team in rebounds with 12. Harris, drive, and one with 10 seconds to play. Well, they're not going to get to 100, but they're going to get mighty close.
Yeah, they are.
And Coach,
well, I wouldn't rule that out.
Coach, a game they trailed by 1 at halftime.
At halftime,
they're going to win this game if Harris makes this potentially by 50 points.
Yep. I've never seen such a turnaround in a game.
Well, this is
in all my years, I don't think I have.
Jessica Harris at the line. Makes it. 10.9 to go in this one. Augusta will bring up the floor. They'll have a chance to break 50 here on their final possession.
I think they're just
going to let the clock run out.
Play it out.
And they are. Lander wins it 98-48. One of the best 20-minute stretches of basketball you're ever going to see.
Yeah.
They outscore the Jaguars 68-17 in the second half. and they win this one by 50. Coach, final thoughts as we wrap up.
It's just an unbelievable second half of effort and intensity and their press. And Chelsea Mitchell, I just can't say much no more about her. She just played a phenomenal game.
We'll step aside when we come back. A conversation with our player of the game and with head coach Kevin Pedersen. Bearcats victorious, 98-48 over Augusta. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Back in Greenwood, South Carolina, our final score 98-48. Lander victorious over the Augusta Jaguars. The Bearcats outscore Augusta 68-17 in the second half, and they were led in that second half by 24 points from our player of the game, the junior guard out of Laurel, Maryland, Chelsea Mitchell. She finishes with 28 points, 12 rebounds, 8 steals, and 4 assists on 13 of 19 shooting. Chelsea, what was different in that second half? Because the intensity and specifically the defensive pressure this team applied was unlike anything we saw in that first half.
Sometimes, I don't know, it's just the energy. The first half, there was no energy. It was like we just were playing just because we had a game today. Coach came in the locker room, was really heated. He went down our throats, but not only that, but just to wake us up because we weren't awake, we weren't ready for the game today. So pretty much just getting everybody to get that same energy that I have and the passion that I have, so that's the difference.
What does this mean for this team? You guys have been struggling, have lost 3 or 4. To come out and play the way you did in that second half, is this a type of game that can jumpstart this team and get you ready for a really crucial stretch as we go into November or to February?
Definitely. I think that this will be the momentum that we get as long as we keep our head, we keep our focus, and we know that we still got more work to do.
Chelsea Mitchell with a phenomenal afternoon. She's our player of the game. Chelsea, thanks. Go enjoy this one.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Bearcats win it 98-48, the final score. I'll give you some numbers here as we wait for head coach Kevin Pedersen. 28 points for Mitchell, 12 rebounds. She led all players in both categories. Meanwhile, Ariana Sanders with 13 points in the game. Tabitha Daly had 14 points and 9 rebounds. She was 1 board shy of a double-double. Crystal Williams has 12, Destiny Langford had 11, and Jessica Harris has 10 in the game as the Bearcats come up with a 50-point victory as we're joined by head coach Kevin Pedersen. Coach, you trailed by 1 at half. You won by 50. Do I dare ask you what was said at halftime?
No, I can promise you don't want to know. And that's the frustrating thing is we've got a team that can be really good. We just have to know who we are and how we play. And this is how we play. With our pressure defense, we're good. Without our pressure defense, when we play soft, Kaylin Small came back, one of our favorite alumni came back last week, and she went in the locker room. She said, guys, you were soft with a capital S. And we've been talking about that a lot this week because that's what we were in the Aiken game. And that's what we were at North Georgia. We've got to play hard. And this team used some great pressure defense, and that we've got to feed off that. And they did a great job in the second half, but we got to play 40 minutes.
Is this a game, when we asked Chelsea the same thing, is this a game that you hopefully look back on and say, hey, that's a half that can spark us, because now we see when we're at the top of our level, this is how good we can be?
I hope so. You hope it is. You hope this is one of those things that gets you going. We still got a few players we've got to get going. We're not as deep as I'd like to be. We've got to find a way to get Brashae Johnson going where we want her to go. We've got to get some of these players. You know, Alexis High, we give her a chance. She comes in and she struggles mightily in that first half. You know, we're hoping if we keep giving these kids chances, they're going to come out and they're going to reward it. So I'll tell you what, someone we got to talk about is Tabitha Daly.
I'll tell you what.
Kid played the best game of her career. It was so exciting to see that kid come out and make some nice moves. For her just to be a sophomore, I thought she did some really good things for us today.
14 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 steals for Daly as the Bearcats get a 98-48 win over the Augusta Jaguars. Coach Kevin Pedersen, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Lander victorious over Augusta. They move to 14-5 on the year. They're 9-4 in the league. When we come back, the men take the floor as the Lander Bearcats try to ride some momentum they got from a Wednesday night win. A second half a lot like what you just saw in terms of scoring. We'll see if the Bearcats can pull off the sweep of the Jaguars when we return to Horne Arena. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network.